Hey everyone, Falling Star here with the September test server. It's not a huge test server, just like last mid-season patch, this test server doesn't have that much stuff in terms of new content or changes. This patch is testing the waters for potential future changes though. Also, no new characters like some of you would have hoped, none, nada, null. Wait for Season 13 or for Global Season 6 for a new character. Anyways, as usual, this is just a test server, things can and probably will change upon release, so please keep that in mind when watching the video. Let's get started. To start, a new game mode, Gun Game. It's kind of similar to what you already know. You shoot enemies, you swap guns, you can choose the character you can play with freely, although in Strinova's gun game, you get a new gun for every 5 kills that your team makes. First to 50 wins. The game mode itself isn't that complicated, just shoot enemies and win. There are 9 primary weapons to cycle through, and the last 5 kills are done with the secondary weapons, with 1 kill per secondary weapon. When you get the Katana, you stab the closest unfortunate soul to death, and yeah, you win. All the characters have access to their passive, actives, and ults. It's not that complicated, to be honest. For the observant watching this, you might be wondering, hey, what about the characters whose skills are based around their gun, like Audrey, Konami, or Bimo? Well, this leads us to the balance changes pretty well. The characters that had kits reliant on their guns or were assuming that the characters were going to wield the gun they usually use were changed in a way so that their kits were no longer reliant on their guns. So let's start with my favorite character, Audrey. So Audrey's turret is no longer affected by the blue upgrades, so if you buy the damage buff upgrade, it no longer affects her Q. The stats of her turret has also been changed. It now fires 1200 rounds per minute instead of 862, huge buff, although only deals 22 damage per shot instead of the usual 28. The turret now also has its own magazine with a base of 180 rounds, which does vary depending on the game mode. Every 10 seconds, she also recovers 15 rounds. This means that although the texture did not change, Audrey effectively wields a completely different weapon when using her Q. She's also unable to mount any other weapon, so the April Fool's full auto M82 will not happen. Unfortunately. Konami no longer requires her main weapon for her Q. Before, she needed her M82 to shoot out a note, however now she can shoot one out with her hand. The casting time has also been massively reduced from 3.5 seconds to 1.1 seconds, although the duration of the note has been nerfed to only 6 seconds instead of the old 10. In addition, for Gun Game, on all weapons except snipers, Konami will have an internal cooldown for her passive. Bimo's Q now recovers 20% of max magazine instead of just 2 shells. For normal game modes, this changes absolutely nothing. Even with additional mag size and double pellet per dash upgrade, because of math and the fact that the game rounds down, he will still just recover 2/4 pellets per dash. However, this does mean that if he is using any weapon that isn't his shotgun, like an assault rifle, he won't be recovering a pitiful 2 bullets per dash. In Gun Game, Bimo's usual passive no longer exists. He no longer string blocks you, instead, when Bimo dodges a bullet with paper mode or gets hit, his speed gets increased temporarily. Also in Gun Game, his active skills cooldown reduction no longer scales with the amount of pellets that hit, but actually scales with the amount of damage that he deals. Fun fact, a while back there was this Reddit thread that was discussing why we weren't able to select our own guns for our characters, and me and some other people were saying how that the game was made in the assumption that the characters would be bound to their guns, and skills were made and balanced around it. Me and some other guy was talking about how broken the game would be if the guns were not bound. Something about Bimo with an A12 being significantly OP, well, now no matter if it's OP or not, it's here. Skills are no longer dependent or reliant on the character's guns, and characters are no longer bound to their own guns in the new Gun Game mode. The patch notes actually mentioned that the feature of the new game mode, the Gun Game mode, was to test out the chemistry when guns and skills are no longer bound together. If this goes well, we could potentially see a lot of change coming to the game. I don't know what the future will hold, but I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. Anyways, back to balance changes. Mara's tactical skill now only makes her invisible from enemies from further than 25 meters away, and this area will not shrink if she ults. Although she does gain an additional damage reduction when in paper mode and using her tactical skill.
必消我掌。
and the tactical skills duration has been increased from 6.5 seconds to 10 seconds. Wikaii's tactical skill now takes 2 seconds to start pushing forward instead of 4. And that's it for balance changes. There weren't that many changes anyways. But Katana has now been split into its own category, the melee weapons. You are now able to bring a primary, a secondary, a melee weapon, aka the Katana, and 2 grenades / 1 grenade and tactical skill into the game. Those of you that have messed around with the number keybinds might want to go change them, but Katana now has a default keybind of 3, the keybinds for the secondary weapons stays at 2, and the grenades now use 4 and 5 as default keybinds. Sprays are now in the spray wheel. Now you can bring a whole lot more sprays into battle. Now let's quickly move on to Outbreak mode, the mode that no one cares about in Global. To start, you can now select the type of crystalline you want to be. Whatever crystalline you picked, you will instantly become it. All crystallines now also have an active skill and an alt skill. The active skill is available immediately, while the alt has to be obtained later. The red Omega Core has a red crystal that she flings towards you. If she ults, she instantly refreshes the active skill and also attacks faster for the duration of her ult. The blue Omega Core will instantly recover armor and HP for nearby allies and herself when activating her skill, and when ulting she gains a shield that can tank damage. The base Deviant will gain extra speed when it activates the active skill, and if it ults, it will activate its crystal core, refresh its active skill, charge up energy, and eventually self-exploding and dealing AoE damage. You gain your ult by leveling up and reaching specific skills. There's a few other changes that I will just list on the screen and not dwell too much on. Pause if you want to read. There's also new Outbreak cards. Thankfully, Bulb translated all of these cards so I don't have to. Thank you, Bulb. I'm just gonna show them on screen right now. The most interesting one in my opinion is a Meow card. Nothing else that interests me anyways. If you want to read, pause to read. Otherwise, I'm also gonna link it down in the description. In custom rooms, you can now change the colors of the modules. Just use the mouse to select the object you want to color and press E and change color. In addition, there are 5 new modules to the map creator. There's a module that plays a percussion when shot. Another that plays a melody when shot. The low gravity module, the same one on Space Lab, has also been brought here. And there's an arrow module now. Anyways, that's kind of it for most stuff. For those of you that are playing Global, just like what one of the official tweets have said, Yvette Dorm should be coming with a new patch. I've heard that the voiceover has already been added to the game files. Anyways, that's coming very soon. Along with a new patch will come this set of skins. Pretty nice skins. Although here I thought Michelle was Yoimiya for a split second, until I realized that this isn't a bot. And finally, thank you for watching. And thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. It helps me out a lot. If you like seeing videos like this about the test service and upcoming content for Strinova, drop a like on the video. If you haven't, consider subscribing. It's free and it helps me out. Onward to 2,000. The last milestone, the 1,000 subscriber milestone, got surpassed within a single day of me posting my last video. Thank you so much for your support. Special shout out to my YouTube members, Wikaiii, 96Yuku, and EWReinE. It's kind of like a donation. I don't have anything special to offer you other than a shout out. So donate if you want, and can, I guess. Anyways, that is enough yapping from me. I will see you guys probably shortly before Season 6 launches with a video that hopefully contains information about a new superstar. Goodbye, and again, thanks for watching.